Nightfall in Minneapolis in December usually spells freezing temps, and that is precisely the case outside these walls. But we are a comfortable 72 degrees inside U.S. Bank Stadium. Tonight, hard to believe, our final Thursday night game of the year, and we've got a good one in store, as it'll be the Detroit Lions taking on the Minnesota Vikings. Just about set for a start. Happy to have you with us, and we are underway here on Thursday Night Prime Time. And this one definitely not in the landing zone. In fact, it's over the back line, so this is going to come out to the 35. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. To throw on the first play, McCarthy. Allen has it, left side. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's 2nd down. Well, these two teams, they met up way back in the season opener, and it was the Vikings who won that one on the road, so they'll look for the sweep here in Minneapolis. Here's a 2nd and 8.
Let's go.
Here's McCarthy. Complete. Jefferson the target. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 19 yards the pick up there. Move the chains.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Now a first carry here for the running back. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The Vikings at 11-4 now on the year. And they've been playing their best football of the year, winners of 4 in a row.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. You talk about this Lions defense. They're trying to cover up some holes in the secondary. Right now, bottom 5 in the league against the pass at number 28.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft, free agency, maybe even both. They definitely need some help in the secondary.
Throwing is McCarthy. He's got his target. That's complete. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 22-yard line. That good for 19 yards as they pick up the conversion on 3rd.
1st and 10 at the 22-yard line.
Looking to throw McCarthy. That one complete to Naylor. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Hands it off out of the gun. And finding room to work, he's down to the 2-yard line. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
Second and 1 from the 2. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And I think they stopped him again. They did at the 1-yard line. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. This will be play number 9 coming up on this relatively long opening drive as they look to convert on third down. On the ground, here's the 4th-round pick from April's draft. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there. His 3rd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Vikings will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 7-0.
Lions nothing. Will Reichard to kick off for the Vikings.
Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. This taken in at the goal line. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
At their own 20-yard line.
Goff and this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. A short throw to Ingram. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 17 yards is the pickup there for number 17.
Defense gives up a touchdown on the opening drive. Offense, you got to want to get out there and get those points back right now.
And that's a sharp throw there to get this drive off to a good start. One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. Counter play, here's Gibbs. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Yeah, look at this defense for the Vikings. This unit coming into this one ranked number 20 against the pass in the NFL.
Defending the pass has not been one of their strong suits throughout the season, but if they have any hopes of making waves in January, they've got to improve in this area.
From the 38 now, here comes 2nd and 8. Play action. It's Goff. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete. This defense for the Vikings, they were very good in the win over Dallas a week ago.
Yeah, what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
Goff. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Here comes the Lions punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. As mentioned, this one of the hottest teams in the NFL, riding that winning streak into this one, but now playing here on Thursday night. Do you think that this helps or hurts their momentum?
Well, ordinarily, I'd say it hurts the momentum because now you've got that short week. But when a team's playing as well as they are, it actually allows them to down focus and only worry about themselves and less about their opponent. So when you're playing well, you just worry about the things you're doing well and let the opponent deal with that.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. They'll try and run this one right up the gut. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
the 29-yard
That felt like a
line.
trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
From the 29, here's 2nd and 9. McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. Complete to Addison on the out route. And out of bounds right around the 20. A gain of 8 there on the play. And that'll leave him with a 3rd and just a yard. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Now McCarthy. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. A little surprise pays off on 3rd and 1. Pass instead of run. Gets him 15 yards.
6-yard line.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Let's go now.
They'll try to run this one in. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, as they'll see what they can do on 3rd and goal.
On the dump. Ready. Cougar 19.
They'll try to run this one in. And I don't think he got there. No, they stop him right where it all started. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throw left side, caught by Laporta. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
So often when we're watching a football game, we see one with a lot of ebbs and flows, and this one is no different. And sometimes you just need a big play to wake you up a bit. And they get one right there. That shot of caffeine this offense was looking for.
On 1st and 10, here's Gibbs. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, people say bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
And his throw here is incomplete.
They're giving him some different looks here defensively in the early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big 3rd down coming up, he's hoping he's got a play dialed up that can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at him.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
120. Hey, shell.
Now Goff. He's got it complete to Gibbs. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 19. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
A gain of 16 yards. 1st down, Detroit.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
Cut. 180.
Goff now to throw. Oh, an ill-advised throw there, and it's intercepted. There he goes, right side. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. An excellent play there, CD, on the pick 6. And I think were they a nickel? Did they have an extra DB out there?
Yeah, Brandon, I think they were in standard nickel, not the Buffalo, as teams like to call it, meaning 3 safeties for big nickel. They just wanted to take away the quarterback's throwing lanes, and that's exactly what they did, and came through with a big-time pick 6.
17. Lions, nothing. Will Reichard to kick off for the Vikings.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
At their own 29-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the 2nd quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
I know, but let me finish.
Okay,
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
We go tonight. Super. 180.
Here's Goff. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Jonathan Allen in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. So now following the sack, Goff and the Lions needing to come up with something here on 3rd and long.
120.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
It's going to be another frustrating end to a drive here. This offense, they've not been able to get anything going in this 1st half. And now it's going to be time to gather on the sidelines and try and figure out what's going wrong. Who has an idea? Who has a plan? Time to implement it.
No return, but it goes down as just a punt of 31 yards. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you get a squad that's towards the bottom of the NFC. But when we mentioned that to the coaches, they were having no part of it.
Yeah, and I like how you said when we mentioned it. In fact, I mentioned it, and I upset them a little bit, didn't I? Because they wanted no part of that one, and I was reminded, like a 5-year-old, this is the NFL. Any given Sunday, anything can happen. They're guarding against the upset.
And somehow he's going to get a yard out of this as he fought through that first contact. It's second down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
McCarthy operating from the gun. Going underneath, he's got Hawkinson.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up third down.
The offense on third down tonight, they've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. To the air with McCarthy. That is caught. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 18. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. They run the draw play. Allen. And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
Line of scrimmage, the 9. 2nd and about a yard.
Here we go. 70 Lions.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. There's Hawkinson in the end zone. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are able to add on to their first half lead. Point after, right down the middle. And a rout is on here in this first half.
Lions nothing. Will Reichard the kickoff for the Vikings.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he's going to be out of bounds here right at the 20-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, I feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse if this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Hand off to Gibbs, headed right here. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half.
180.
Goff. And that's to Amon-Ra St. Brown. Still on his feet. Touchdown, Detroit. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 59 yards. And the Lions get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. Down 3 scores already. This game was really in danger of getting away from them. They needed a drive like that, especially on the road.
Not only to calm themselves, but maybe tamp down the crowd a little bit because everything was against them. As you noted, this game could have gotten away from them very easily, but instead, the calming drive, now they have a little bit more confidence. Okay, we're back in it. All right, we're ready to go. That was impressive.
And the defense now needs to reciprocate. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And with a 3-score lead already, this is not time for a momentum change, so I'd imagine they'd be happy to just look at right side, and it's intercepted. Picked off by DJ Reed. Then they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. First and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And the Vikings are going to take over here up near the 40.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. He's across midfield. And finally marked down at the 23. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Working out of the gun is McCarthy. Open man, that's Felton. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. Another good completion on the drive as the Vikings have a first down.
1st and 10 at the 12-yard line.
McCarthy off the play fake. There's Addison. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there as the first half is winding down. And the Vikings will extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point right down the middle. And a rout is on here in this first half.
Lions 7. Will Reichard to kick off for the Vikings.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Taking it about the 1. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line.
1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
A gain of a yard brings up 2nd and 9.
So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports.
Will Reichard to kick off for the Vikings.
It'll be Lions football to start the second half, and they trail here as we get back underway on EA Sports. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
At their own 18-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball into the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
The 26-yard line.
So from the 26-yard line, here's second and a couple. Straight ahead with Gibbs here. And he stopped immediately there. They'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on third down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments.
Hold on. Check.
Goff now looking to throw. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and the Vikings pick up the football. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. Well, if these guys wanted to get back in this game, they needed an almost perfect second half, and down 3 scores. A lost fumble here certainly doesn't fit into that plan.
That reminds me of my plan in college to get an A on the papers I turned in, but that didn't work out too well either. Too many mistakes by both of us. I mean, that's just pure and simple. And that's why that's exactly where they are in this ball game. They're going to need a huge turnaround if they want to try and win this one. And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. On play action, now McCarthy. There's Addison. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Vikings have opened the lead up to 30. A familiar refrain, a turnover leads to a touchdown, and that lead grows even wider now here in this third quarter.
Yeah, partner, I'd say there are a lot of grins breaking out on that sideline, because, let's face it, they came in thinking they were in for a real fight in this game, but this one's been about as one-sided as we've seen in a while. In addition, if you're a backup, time to start stretching and loosening up. You may get some playing time in this one.
And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
In every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
The give, right side for Gibbs. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Here's Goff. He's got him in, complete. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 40. He got 29 yards that time.
First and 10 at the 40-yard line.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up first and 10 right at the 40. Gibbs straight ahead. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. 2 yards the loss, second and 12.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up second and 12. Back to throw. Goff. Complete to his target, Jalen Hyatt. Yeah, that's good for a gain of 6. And all of a sudden here, it's third down. And Charles, with that completion, I'm told that puts him over 3,000 yards passing now on the campaign.
And Brandon, nowadays your leader's usually closer to 5,000 yards on the year, but still, 3,000 yards, a good season.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is third down.
20.
A little short pass here taken in by Laporta. They call it a loss of a yard there. And that's going to bring up a fourth down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this third quarter as he'll go for it on fourth down. They go ahead and snap it. Goff. That's complete to Laporta. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. The Lions turned away on fourth down. And that will force a turnover on downs. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown. Their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
2 yards to go, second down.
Let's go.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 58 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Now a handoff running through the middle. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage.
I have zero rooting interest in either team in this game. I only want a good game. But with all the offense we've seen from them tonight, it's kind of nice to see the defense step up and make a big play.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were ever going to get him in the backfield. Nice to see him get a stop. Quickly to Addison here. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. It looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
Throwing is McCarthy. Oh, the turnover fest continues. Here's another interception. And the Lions will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the third quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and it definitely shows that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner dead. They're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
Fourth quarter coming up here on Thursday Night Prime Time. This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
Tonight, 14, 180.
Now a play fake, and it's gone. A quick throw there, incomplete.
Intended for Isaac.
No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Cut. Like 20.
To throw is gone. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
From the gun on 3rd down, Goff.
He's got his target. That's complete. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 15-yard line. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, they'll give to Gibbs.
And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense is pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
20.
Now Goff. He gets this out wide to Gibbs. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. And you know what else happened on that play? He just went past 45,000 career passing yards.
He's going to cherish that moment, but he's also going to celebrate it with so many different people. Guys he's playing with currently, guys he's played with in the past, especially offensive linemen who've kept him upright to throw the ball, receivers who've caught it. I mean, just so many people to embrace. And last but not least, a lot of coaches who called a lot of passing plays.
Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
This is certainly a team that has proven it likes to target its backs through the air, and defensively, they were aware of that and certainly were prepared on that throw.
And a field goal obviously means nothing here. They're going to go ahead and go for it on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And he'll be brought down at his own 10-yard line. But with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. 79 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they turn to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Taken down on the play by Aiden Hutchinson.
Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 44-yard line.
Well, partner, nothing but praise from me for this offense. They have been tremendous all night long. They knew what they had to do to unlock the defense. And let's face it, this has been a master class in offensive football that we've been here to witness.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge. Well, partner, Marvin, our #1 stats guy, just handed me a little card that says he has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark. Got to have it.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to call is one of his favorite runs, whatever he feels comfortable with, and what the offensive line has executed well today, to try and get him over 100 yards.
A CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things. They'll continue to throw it around until stopped.
So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10.
Viking 18. Go.
And they will take a knee here.
Ready. 70 Timberwolves. Check out.
And they'll indeed take a knee.
Come on, set. Hawk 70, Hawk 70. Waste of time. Can't be scored. Ready?
And they take a knee.
So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory, and it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points